Twitch. I do that every time. Twitch. Flintstones reference.
The Flintstones had no idea they were ahead of their time.
Really, they really didn't. And I'm waiting on Twitch to show me something. What's happening? I see a spinning black ball. Nothing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, there
Yep.
you are.
Okay.
All right. There's Luke and Dementia Radio now. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice.
Hey, Luke Ski.
Who's on the show with us this week?
We have Phil Johnson of Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction fame. Hi, Phil.
Hola, gents. How are ya?
And we have from Dead by 28, Chris, a.k.a. Dizman. Unfortunately, Sean was unable to join us. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Although Sean said he would be watching the Twitch stream, so we might be able to say hi to him in the chat. Welcome to episode 629 of the Funny Music Podcast. Title of this week's episode is Debonair Wrist Color, which I'm going to put in the chat so you can refer to it later. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to work that into our conversations somehow. Because I'm a dick. All right. Let's do the catch-up thingy.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Oh, the usual. Working. I went and saw another taping of an episode of Night Court. And yeah, I have had more recent, the dental work I had done like just over a week ago is still like giving me some amount of pain in my jaw, which is annoying me. I mean, enough that if I take the big ibuprofen pills, it's basically fine, but it's just still an annoyance. Recorded a podcast with Kyle yesterday, which was fun, which will be up on Sunday, and I think that's about it. I actually took an extra day off yesterday because my family had said a few weeks ago that they wanted to do like a family game night type of thing on a Wednesday, and it was kind of on me to set it up. And then when I went to email and text everyone and say hey, are we all doing family game night? It basically, most of them bailed on it to the point where it was like, all right, I guess we'll just try this again next month. So it's kind of like, whatever. I mean, next month I'll actually be out there to visit them. So,
oh, cool.
So there you go. What have you been up to, Mr. Devo Spice, sir?
Well, for the long 4th of July weekend, I actually had 2 days off. I had a 4-day weekend, and between those 4 days, we managed to finish the kitchen floor. Holy crap, it's done.
Hooray!
Oh my God. The kitchen is not fully back together yet. There's still stuff that needs to be done, but the floor is done. Now we have to fix the goddamn dishwasher for some reason. It's not squirting water anymore. You can't wash dishes if it's not putting water in the anyway. And we got to fix the front door, and there's, things that still have to get moved back into the kitchen area that we had moved out, but the major work is done. Also, I finally watched Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. That was everything I needed it to be. That was wonderful. If you're an old-time fan of Beavis and Butthead, I highly recommend this movie. It's fantastic. They did a great job with it.
It's like we have needed Mike Judge's, commentary on modern society for a while now.
Yes, we have. And I really enjoyed the smart Beavis and smart Butthead appearances.
I like that part a lot.
But I think the thing that made me laugh the most was when they were working on the docking simulator at NASA, and they took the robot arm. They took the robot arm and they just started smacking the spaceship. I lost it. So yeah, good stuff. Highly recommend that movie. I also watched season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots, which if you haven't seen is fantastic. Holy crap, they turned it up a notch this season. All of these stories and all the animations are unbelievably good. It was so much good stuff in there. Anyway, what were you going to say, Luke?
No, I was going to say my favorite scene in the Beavis and Butthead do the Universal movie. Excuse me. I don't want to spoil the joke, but it takes place. They wander onto a college campus and they go into a classroom, and in that classroom they learn something, and then they leave the classroom. And the scene that immediately follows them leaving the classroom just had me on the floor.
Yes, that was wonderful.
Oh my gosh! So yeah.
So that was awesome, and
for those who don't know, it is on Paramount Plus. That's where you can see that.
It's on Paramount Plus, and Love, Death, and Robots is on Netflix. And the Love, Death, and Robots, like, I could watch a whole series with just those 3 robots exploring the apocalypse of, the ruins of humanity. That one was great. The one with the smart rats was fantastic. The one with the miniature zombie apocalypse. Oh my god, that was amazing. The silent, I don't know, the silent one, the one with no dialogue with the conquistadors and that woman in the water. Like, I'm sure that was like motion capture and like physics for the jewelry and stuff, but holy crap, that was amazing. Like what they did with her. Like, oh my god, I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's like CG has gotten so good, when it's done properly. Like, I was just sitting there looking at that so often going like, is that a person wearing makeup or is that animation? Because I can't tell. It looks so real. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome
and I like
stuff.
that. I agree about the 3 robots. Like, I would love to have them just, be a series or whatever. or if they just keep bringing them back in future seasons. I like Ben Schwartz is the voice of the small one. And he has that great line. It's like, they were mean to robots, and so robots killed them.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, great stuff. All right. So Dizman, what have you been up to? Chris, you there?
No, working.
No, you're not. There you are.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, you hear me?
Yep. And we do have Sean in the chat. So hi, Sean.
What up, Sean, the Keymaster?
So what's been going on with you?
I watched Stranger Things and Dr. Strange. Am I lagging like...
You are lagging like crazy, yes. And you're freezing a bit.
Really bad?
I haven't seen either of those yet. I like, they're on my list. I literally have a spreadsheet of things to watch, and both Stranger Things
Maybe if I try it
and Doctor Strange are both on my list. So I will be watching them soon.
I enjoyed them.
Me too.
I loved them. So okay, yeah, that seems to be where you're moving now. So we were getting more video. So I guess that's better.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got rid of the lag now.
Cool. So, didn't you have face paint on the last time you were on? Or
Yeah, I did.
is the beard new? Because I can't remember.
I had a beard, then I shaved it off, and now I'm growing it back.
Okay, that's why. All right. Well, that works.
And
Cool.
I didn't want to wear the makeup. I get
That's
sick
fine.
of the makeup. I've been wearing it for so long.
I can imagine.
Got
Yeah,
it.
makeup and that kind of stuff sucks. I can imagine.
I was trying to go for a new look nowadays.
I like it. It works.
Yeah. You know, Halloween comes around, I'll probably put the makeup back on.
Yeah, I when I was a kid and I started going to conventions, I saw all these people doing cosplay, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! I want to do that." And I did it once, and I was like, "Nope, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks."
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I wasn't even a fancy costume. I just went dressed as the Fourth Doctor, and I have a long scarf and a hat, and that was about the extent of my costume. But even that, I'm like, the scarf was getting caught on everything, and I'm bumping into people. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So
it's more fun just like going comfortable and having fun.
yeah, I like appreciating other people's cosplay at this point when I go to cons.
Yeah, understand that.
So Phil, what have you been up to?
Oh man, it's been busy. I really want to go to a con, but wear one of those old school like plastic Halloween costumes, the ones that are just like a plastic onesie.
It was like
with the
like
tie
a
in
Batman,
the back.
like a Batman plastic front with like a picture of Batman on the shirt.
Yeah, exactly right. It's got the
The
picture
old
of Batman.
1980s.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's got just the mask. It's got the tiny little breathing hole that was never actually a breathing hole. I may still have a Yoda costume in a closet somewhere from the 1980s.
That would be great.
Yeah, it's probably worth $1 million now,
Probably
it'll
is.
crumble to pieces. But yeah, I've been super busy. Gigs are sort of coming back. I've been doing a lot more shows. Just today I spent rehearsing. I played guitar for a bunch of hours this morning. I did some writing. I packed up a bunch of merchandise to send out to my fans. I taught some music lessons, some really complicated music lessons this afternoon. Now I'm here with you guys, and I'm just realizing what an awesome life and an awesome job I have. And it's one of those things. I did have to spend some time fending off weirdos and lunatics from my fan community today, because that has to happen. For some reason, like people who I don't think would like my comedy, kind of like my the bit that I advertise with is a very, very left-leaning, liberal San Francisco Bay Area bit, and these people are like, yeah, I loved it, and then I go look at their Facebook profiles. I'm like, why would you love this? There's no why. I don't want you anywhere near me. This is very weird. And so yeah, I have to fend off some of the weirdos and lunatics sometimes to protect my community. But I mean, it's been fantastic. Everything is going really, really well. And I've been very busy. I too watched Doctor Strange. We enjoyed that. Have not gotten to Stranger Things, but we did finish the last season of Mrs. Maisel. So
No.
there
Okay.
you go. Yeah.
I have not seen that, but I've heard good things about it.
It's a fun show. Actually, this season wasn't that great, but the first 2 or 3 seasons or whatever it is pretty good. It's funny because there's a scene in the, I don't know, first or second episode where she's bombing. And I told my girlfriend, I said, I know exactly why she's bombing. I said, they wrote very well a bombing set. And my girlfriend was like, what do you mean? I said, run it back. I will tell you exactly why every single line bombs. And she'd do a line, I'd stop it and I go, false premise. She'd do a line and I'd stop it and I go, I just gave her a reason why every single line bombed. And she was like, oh, okay, all right. And she was completely unimpressed by it. So I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, my wife isn't impressed with any of my trivia knowledge either. So
I get to her, it was like when she tells me about her job, and I just kind of glaze over, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yep, fine, yep, invoices, cool, and I start going, no, it's a false premise, and the judge didn't have the twist at the end of the punchline. She just glazes over, so I don't do it anymore.
So you posted a song. What was that?
My wife gets annoyed when I constantly quote movies and TV shows.
Oh, see, my wife gets annoyed when I start singing parodies of songs that come on the radio. Because you can pretty much know one for like all the popular songs out there. There's a few for all of them, and all it takes is me to remember one of them, and she'll be like, "Will you shut up?" So.
That's part of the reason why Devo Spice and I started doing parodies of hip-hop songs back in the day, because nobody was parodying those.
Right.
Or at least nobody was parodying those well.
All right, so Phil, give us a quick intro to this song and we'll give it a listen.
Oh, sure. This song is, this started as part of my 30-second song project a couple years ago. And it was I was putting out a new short song every day. And this was one of them. It kind of clicked with people. And I thought, well, I should turn this into something longer. And the premise behind it is that the internet is basically built on a foundation of kitties and boobs. And without that, the internet would not function. And really, it's just, we're all just hamsters sucking at the water bottle of brain chemicals, click, 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 of the internet and hiding our heads in the sand. And that's pretty much what the internet is. And so I wanted it to be a vapid, ephemeral song, and I think I accomplished both of those.
Here is Kitties and Boobs by Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction.
And boobs. Kitties and boobs. Saturday is Catterday. Tuesdays are for tits and tacos. The internet is nothing but kitties and boobs. Pussy cats, the kind that ask you to. Kitties and boobs. 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 The internet is made of kitties and boobs. Mondays are for memories. Fridays are for getting furry. Assuming furry means you got photos of cats or people dressing up to look like sexy rats. Kitties and boobs. 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 Boobs, 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 boobs. Where'd the beat go? Kitties and boobs, kitties and boobs, kitties and boobs, kitties and boobs, kitties and boobs. Sing it with me now. Kitties and boobs. What? Kitties and boobs. Kitties and boobs. Kitties and boobs. What about them kitties and boobs? Kitties and boobs. Ow. Kitties and boobs. Kitties and boobs. Damn cat. But you might be thinking to yourself, Phil, that's not really all that's on the internet, is it? And to you I say you're right. 'Cause we also have puppies and butts, 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 puppies and butts. Golden retrievers and big heavy beavers, fluffy old Persians and cushions for pushing, big great Dane Scoobies, cute little boobies, pictures of Maine Coons, eclipsed by a full moon, bulldogs and Frenchies, a tale of two cities, Siamese Mills and apple cabooses, sweet little beagles,
I have been singing this song since you posted it. It's just been stuck in my head. And, like, I'm outside walking the dog, just walking around the neighborhood. Kitties and boobs. Kitties and boobs. Well done.
Thank you. I put every sort of cliche earworm trick that I could come up with. I don't like EDM music particularly, but I listened to a bunch of it before putting this together because I wanted that really Electric Daisy Carnival, EDM tent at Coachella kind of feel to it, but with some guitars and stuff thrown in there. And so the drops and the breaks and the modulation up, a key change at the end, and I was just like, I'm going to use all the brain chemical tricks, all the parlor tricks we have in music to make this an earworm, and just the relentless repetition of the title line just over and over and over and over again. And that has been the response that I've gotten is, oh my God, I can't get this stupid song out of my head. One of my fans, she's like, my husband hates this song now because I won't stop singing it. And I was like, that's awesome. I like it. So
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. You can imagine what I went through recording it because I was spending hours and hours and hours, and was singing it 24 hours a day in my head. I couldn't get it out of my head either. I have a question for Luke on this one because at the beginning of that video, I used the Auga from the old Warner Brothers cartoon, and I was looking for something like that, and I'm pretty sure that's a Tex Avery thing. First of all, I might be wrong, but I could not find another cartoon with the Auga anywhere on YouTube, and I'm wondering if this is a Mandela effect thing, like it was just that one time, and I'm imagining other cartoons that used it, or if I just didn't find them. Because I mean, even in Turning Red, the new Pixar film, there's a scene where the little girl she does the Auga at the hot guy in the cafe or whatever, the convenience store. So Luke, I was like, Luke's gonna have a 16-minute dissertation on this when I ask him. Luke, tell me, does that actually appear in other cartoons, and is it Tex Avery? And am I wrong on that?
Well, we'd probably have to get Kyle in on this conversation to get more specific information as far as, like, is it Tex Avery, is it Warner Brothers, etc. But I mean, I don't think it's a Mandela effect because I do remember there being a very specific Auga gag in the movie The Mask because
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because like he pulls up the little horny pieces and it's like giant Auga and it like blows out people's windows or something like that. So, but yeah, it's like I seem to remember that coming from all of those, wolf cartoons, with Red and everything, primarily. So I don't know. I'd have to ask Kyle if he has more of a knowledge base on, what another person to ask would be Chris Mazzalesta because he's very, very averse in classic Looney Tunes stuff. So.
All right. To be continued on that discussion then.
Yeah.
But, it was a fun song to make, and like I was telling you before, now I got to do a vertical video for it, because TikTok and Instagram ruin video formats,
yes.
And so now I'm putting together that version of it. But it's been fun, and I'm going to be running a big ad campaign for this video and everything, too, so it's been a kick.
I suspect the ad campaign will do well.
I hope so. I'm hoping to ruin a lot of people's days by putting this song in their head. And I'm thinking about closing my shows with this song, but it doesn't work with just me and an acoustic guitar. I've tried it. It sucks. And I'm going to actually try singing to tracks, which I've never done on stage before. And I'm going to try it out at some low-key gigs first. The problem is remembering all those goddamn lyrics in the last bridge before it hits those last choruses, because I cannot remember a key to bikini, all that shit. It's going to drive me insane trying to remember all that stuff.
Let me tell you about a song called What's Up, Spock. You see... Actually, I'll cut to the end. If I can memorize that and keep it in my head for, 25 years, I think you can figure that one out. So
just lots and lots of practice. What you need to do is, like what I did with Cellular Degeneration, I memorized that song on the way to Dragon Con while I was driving from New Jersey to Atlanta. So it was a 13-hour drive, I think, and pretty much the whole way down, I was just practicing Cellular Degeneration the entire way down. So that's what you need to do. Just 13 hours of it.
The funny thing is I have no problem memorizing and learning an hour of stand-up. I can do that. I have my techniques for it. Lyrics have always been tough for me, though. And that's part of how I got into comedy was I kept forgetting my lyrics at shows, and I started making jokes about it. And to the point where people would come up to me after the show and go, "Hey, you remembered all the lyrics tonight? Are you feeling okay?" That's how I actually got into comedy, was because I could never remember my lyrics. So something like that, not only is there a lot of lyrics, that song is exhausting to sing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I hadn't ever performed the whole thing through. I mean, that was all take after take after take after take. I recorded that in pieces, and then I was like, "Oh no, I have to actually perform this song now. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to start doing more cardio or something to actually get through that."
Yeah. See, every so often I do a song, and I get like halfway through recording it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just never going to do this one live. That's just. This is a studio track only. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I have quite a few of those that that can't pull them off solo, and I've never sung to tracks on stage before, so it'll be an interesting experiment to try and see how it works. We've got some winery gigs coming up. Maybe I'll do it there.
With this one, I think you're going to need like pulsing lights behind you. You know,
I do. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to bring my own lighting rig or something because it does definitely needs a laser show or something.
So Wildcard in the chat said that the title of the song made him think that it was going to be a parody of Frank Zappa's Titties and Beer.
Okay, yeah, I heard a few people tell me that.
Okay.
It is not. Yep.
I could totally see it doing that, though. I mean, it does fit.
For sure. There is also Rodney Carrington also has a song called Titties and Beer, strangely. That is its own comedy song.
You know, we had a song posted on the FuMP a couple months ago called "Too Fat for Rock and Roll," and for reasons I won't bother getting into, I've been on like a Corky and the Juice Pigs tear recently, listening to their old stuff, and I found a performance of them on Mad TV doing a song that's not on any of their albums called "Too Fat to Rock and Roll," and it's a Meatloaf parody. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? And like all of a sudden, there's two songs with the exact same title and two different premises. But anyway, I digress.
It happens. Parallel thinking, man.
Yeah.
You just never know where it's going to pop up.
Yeah. So what else is going on in your world? I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say Mikey Mason has a similar song called "Too Fat for the Pit."
No, that's Shoebox. That's Worm Quartet. That's Worm Quartet.
What?
That's Worm Quartet. Too Fat for the Pit.
I'm pretty sure that Mikey Mason has a song that's similar in some way.
Oh, okay. He might, yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny because that's why I never get mad at somebody. There's, in the comedy community, it's like, "Oh, he stole my joke, he stole my material, blah, 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 blah." If somebody comes up with a similar premise that I do, I don't get mad at them. I don't assume they stole it from me. I just assume they had the same thought I did.
Yeah.
I had posted a video on Instagram or something a while back, and I just was getting all these comments. You stole this from this dude. Yeah, it's down from Sacramento. Where some comic I never heard of down the coast from me here, and I was like, "Oh, this is a video of a bit that I wrote 12 years ago. It's in my second special, and I was doing it for 5 years before that. So." Has he been doing it that long? And it's just, I heard nothing from him ever again. I was like, maybe we just chalk it up to parallel thinking on his part, huh?
Yes.
Don't just go throwing accusations around. That bugs me.
Yeah, one of Shoebox's fans did that with Stephen Lynch, because Shoebox has a song called "Hair on the Soap," and Stephen Lynch has a song that's basically the same idea, except Stephen's song is like 30 seconds long, and Shoebox is like 4.5 minute epic with like a guitar solo and stuff. But one of his fans like went off on a Stephen Lynch message board that Lynch I'd stolen the idea from Worm Quartet, and I'm like,
God!
I'm pretty sure Stephen Lynch has never heard of Worm Quartet.
And I mean, even a quick Google search would tell you that Lynch did that one a long time ago.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, you can easily find out when these things came out. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. That's why when I do a parody of a rap song especially as an older rap song, I email Luke and I'm like, "Hey, I had this idea. Have you had that idea? Are you planning to do it? Should we do this together? What's going on?"
Yeah, and sometimes I'll be like, I'll see like, oh, somebody already did this thing, and and sometimes it's like, no, I haven't heard of anyone do stuff like that. When it comes to song parody, like I've done this a bunch of times before. When it's something that I have to assume maybe somebody on the internet might have already done, I will ask one of my friends who is part of our bubble of comedy music, fans and friends and everything, who's well versed enough in stuff so that I don't have to like hold their hand on this. It's like, okay, go find out if anyone's done a parody of this song on this topic, from pop culture or whatever, along these lines, because I just want to find out if anybody else has, and if so, like without me being exposed to what the actual material is. It's like, because if it's been done and been done really well, or been done multiple times, then I'm probably not going to want to do it. But if there's no evidence of it, or somebody had something similar but it wasn't that great, it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and do mine anyway. Like, I remember I was really proud of myself. I thought of doing a Harry Potter song, 99 Problems, but a snitch ain't one. Mm-hmm. and then just on my own, I went to Google it, and there were like 4 other versions out there. It's like, all right, there goes that idea.
I'm trying to remember
it's good to have the community to check in though with. I've got 3 or 4 stand-up friends that cover enough of a breadth of the stand-up world where I can go, hey, I got this premise. Has anybody done this yet? And if they go no, then I know I'm onto something. Or the other thing that I'll do is I'll take a premise that somebody else has done. If I've got something additional or something they didn't hit or something I can expand on. I wrote a whole bit about bees on my I don't know, second special or something like that. A whole bit about bees, and it was because Eddie Izzard has an incredible bit about bees, and I did it as a writing exercise. I was like, can I write a bit about bees that doesn't hit on anything that Eddie Izzard did in his bit? And I managed to, and it turned into a really good bit. So I'll sometimes take somebody's topic, not necessarily a premise, but a topic, and go, well, what else can I do with that they didn't get to,
That's
so that's
cool.
fun. But yeah, it is good to have that community to check in with.
Yeah, I forgot which parody I was doing, but I went on YouTube and I searched to see if anybody else had done it, and somebody had, and I watched their video, and it was terrible. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm safe to just do my idea. I'm good.
Yeah, you can swoop in on some of that stuff when their video has 3 views and it's been out for 10 years. I think it's safe to try it out.
So that stuff you wrote, did you like record it and release it?
The bees stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out on I think that was on it's on my 3rd special actually. It's got Pretty from the Back.
Okay.
It's in that show, yeah.
Well, if you divide them up into tracks, did you call the track Bee Material?
I did not. I think I just because there was enough bee jokes that it actually got split up over 2 bits with another story in between.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think one of them was called Bee Violence, and the other one was called I don't remember what the other one was called.
The other one was called Debonair Wrist Color.
Ding 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 ding.
Thank you. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. So, first of all, Kitties and Boobs is available on all the places if you want to put that thing in your head again. And if you go to my website, philjohnsоncomedy.com, there is a link there where you can get a free gift. It's a free starter pack of cool swag. It's free. Pay a couple bucks for shipping and handling so I don't have to sell my guitars. And you get a handwritten note from me and a postcard and a button that says I know Phil and a guitar pick and all sorts of other stuff. And so that's out. And through that, you can also join my private community called the Philogelos. Philogelos is an old Greek word that means lover of laughter, and it's also the name of the very first joke book known to exist, and it also has my name in it. So that's the name of the community, and we're doing really fun things. We're doing contests, and I'm giving. That's where all my new material comes out, and they get everybody. My private community gets all the stuff first before the general public. So that's the place to go. PhilJohnsonComedy.com.
Sounds good. All right, so we're going to move on to news and the other song for the week. Are you sticking around, or are you going to take off?
I will be here.
All righty. Let's do a promo.
Bartleby Records presents the 35th album of Nutty Crap from Steve Goodie. That's right, top 10 songs that Steve has come up with since his last CD, plus 6 more, has all your favorites.
We gotta make some Russians turn around and leave. So we're keeping Putin up at night. Go back to the USSR. Holy Moses, there's holes in my clothes. I'm showing so much skin. I'm practically a Kardashian.
My neighbor's wiener dog yaps all night long, so to keep from killing him, I wrote him a song. He goes,
It's available now at www.stevegoodie.com.
Coffee cups, Slurpee cups, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, mascara, lipstick, eyeliner, cover-up, glitter, 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 glitter.
I was enjoying the song, and then it got to the bridge, which became complicated and loud, and now I don't understand what's going on anymore.
The official release date is July 15th, but if you order your copy today, you'll get the download version immediately and the physical disc in 3 weeks with free shipping. Wow!
Welcome to the bachelorette party capital of the world, Nashville, Tennessee. Go back to the USSR.
That's right. Order your copy of Top 10 Songs That Steve Has Come Up With Since His Last CD, plus 6 more, today at www.stevegoodie.com and get the shipping for free. Operators are standing by.
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
For those of you watching on Twitch, I screwed up and queued up the wrong version of that, the one that doesn't have a video, because Steve actually had a video for that promo. But sorry, Steve. I'll get that up for next week. All right. In the news, Dr. Demento is recovering from a sprained ankle. Last week's show was an assemblage of parts from previous shows because Dr. D is laid up with a sprained ankle, so he's not getting around too well. He is on the mend and promises a brand new show for next week, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Apparently this was an injury from earlier some time ago, and that he re-aggravated or something like that. As you just heard, there is a new Steve Goodie album called Top 10 Songs That Steve Goodie Has Come Up Since His Last One, plus 6 more. It will be available on July 15th. You can pre-order now at stevegoodie.com and get the download link immediately, plus free shipping on the CD, which will be available in 3 weeks. And speaking of new albums, there is a new album out now by 2D6 called You Just Can't Have One. It's available digitally at 2d6music.bandcamp.com. If you want the CD, they told me they are pretty much only selling it at live shows, so you may have to see them in person to get it. However, any of the hardcore FuMP fans, if you really want one, get in touch with Saker, and he said you will figure something out. And also, it turns out comedy is being removed from Spotify. Duh. Apparently, Spotify is having problems with some kind of performance rights organization that represents a lot of spoken word comedy. So anything that's marked as spoken word is being removed. Comedy is usually marked as spoken word, and bands like Psycho Stick and Brental Floss list their albums as comedy and were removed from Spotify recently. So Brental Floss said he was able to get his album relabeled as singer-songwriter, so that should be getting back up soon. I imagine Psycho Stick is just going to relabel their stuff as heavy metal and get that back up soon. But we're getting bits and pieces of information about this. We don't really know all the details about what's going on. All the FuMP albums are still up there. The Cirque du Soleil albums are still up there as of now. And the Corky and the Juice Pigs albums are still up there, and that's a lot of spoken word stuff too. So
I can tell you a little bit about that, actually.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so the organization is called Spoken Giants, which is it's a performing rights organization for spoken word artists. Mm-hmm. So stand-up comics is what they're mostly working with, and Spotify kind of went nuts. They Spoken Giants has been very upfront with trying to make deals with organizations like Spotify, and Spotify just said it's sort of a hardball technique. They just said, we're going to pull it all down, and they're just playing hardball on the deal because they don't want to pay the rights money that they should be paying for this kind of stuff.
Right.
This is the essentially like when you're writing music, there's the master rights, and then there's the writer's rights.
Right? Yeah, it's the writer and the performer. There's two separate rights. Yeah, exactly. And I know spoken word is only getting right now. They're only getting the performer rights. They're not getting the writer rights.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what Spoken Giants is trying to rectify. And so Spotify is playing hardball by pulling stuff down. As far as I know, as far as I haven't seen, all my stuff is still up there, so I haven't run into any trouble yet. But even worse is that now SiriusXM is doing the same thing. And that's a bigger trouble because SiriusXM is way more lucrative for the artists in general. Spotify pays pennies. SiriusXM, it's like $20 a pop every time they play your stuff. I get a fat check from SiriusXM via Sound Exchange every month, and so I really don't want my Sound Exchange plays to go away, but SiriusXM is pulling the same hardball trick. I just got an email from the head of Spoken Giants a couple days ago where they're now dealing with that with SiriusXM as well, which really, really sucks for a lot of people.
Yes.
I don't rely on that for my income, but I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, like, how, like, did they not listen to Psycho Stick's album? Like, are they not familiar with Psycho Stick? Because Weird Al didn't get pulled down. They obviously know who Weird Al is, But, like, all you have to do is listen to, like, one Psycho Stick song, and you're like, this is not spoken word. This is music, I don't understand. So I'm wondering if this is one of those Al Gore rhythm things that keeps getting screwed up. But
it's probably just easiest rather than actually devote the person power to listening to everything that's listed as comedy and just going like, we'll just click comedy, remove, and it just clears everything at
that's
once.
what I was afraid they were doing, and that's why I checked that my stuff was still up and the FuMP was still up and Cirque du Soleil was still up, because I was like, well, was my stuff pulled down too? Because that sucks if it, So we will keep an eye on this and see what happens, and hopefully Spotify will learn that music is not spoken word. Doesn't have music is not spoken word. Those are true. That's a true statement I just said. All right. Anybody got anything before tour dates? No. All right.
No.
On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goodie hosting at the Bluebird. On Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. You're still doing that, right?
It's actually Thursday nights now. Thursday nights at 6. Sorry, I didn't change that with you guys. Yeah, Thursday nights at 6, and it's only in my private community, so it's not a public show. It will be again, but not right now.
Okay. Also on Thursdays, Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel. On the 8th, online, Carla Ulbrich. On the 9th, in Napa, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. You come up a lot on this list, so... On the 10th, online, Escape from the Secret Lab with the Consortium of Genius. On the 10th, in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, MC Lars. On the 13th, in Pleasanton, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 15th, in, how do you pronounce that? Milpitas, California?
Milpitas, that's where I am right now.
Milpitas, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 15th in Old Bridge, New Jersey, Devo Spice. The 15th through the 17th in Appleton, Wisconsin, Mikey Mason. The 16th in Los Banos, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And on the 17th in Washington Crossing, Pennsylvania, Larry Tritel. Alrighty.
So, at what point did are we at the FuMPCast the trendsetters for turning Thursday night into like it's the old school ABC versus NBC versus CBS for the ratings? It's like, why are all the comedy music online streaming things happening on Thursday night? Why do we have competition?
I know, right?
I don't understand.
There's six other days, people.
Other days.
And we got Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel. We got Phil Johnson now. We got Psycho Stick. Everybody's casting on Thursdays. All right.
I really need to move mine to a different night but I teach later on Monday through Wednesday, and so I had to move it over to Thursdays. And I would really like, because I half the time I can't even do it because I'm doing a gig somewhere or I'm on with you guys tonight. So this is the exchange for that tonight. But yeah, I need to move it to a different day too.
All right. So Chris, welcome back. And give us a quick intro to this song and we'll give it a listen.
It's about wanting to be in Playgirl magazine.
All right, here is Dead Sexy by Dead by 28. I love the picture that you guys put up for the song art for that.
It's a Playgirl magazine.
Yes. Well done. So where did this song come from?
Well, it goes back to my last album, really. The the song about having a foot fetish. Like, Keymaster is our producer too. So like he records all my vocals. So, and like when I did that song, I was like, I have a song, it's kind of embarrassing though, and it ended up being his favorite song. So then after that, I'm like, what can I write about that is embarrassing for me? How can I embarrass myself more? And this song is like, I'm jealous of like, like girls on social media, fucking Instagram, TikTok, and like, buff guys and like, just like, sell their bodies like so easily. But I try to do it, freaking over the hill weirdo. And people just say, look at that over the hill weirdo. It's not fair. I'm jealous.
I think there is a fetish for dad bods out there, so I'm pretty sure you will probably have at least some level of success if you tried.
It's a small niche, but it is there. Yes.
I've always wondered, like, if you have what would be described as a dad bod, but you're not actually a dad, does that still count? Like, does the sexiness factor of having that type of a figure still factor into it if you don't actually have kids? Is there an energy that women can detect that will make you be like, oh, that guy has a dad bod. What about him? He doesn't have kids. Oh, he's just overweight.
See, there's a certain aura that dads give off, which comes from years of experience of cleaning vomit out of the blinds at 3:30 in the morning, which is only something that dads experience. So if you've never had kids, and moms experience it too, but if you've never had kids, you've never had to clean vomit out of the blinds at 3:30 in the morning. I have on more than one occasion.
See, and I think of course there was the acronym MILF, which, is, kind of a bit, harsh compared to the phrase dad bod, but there's also a phrase that's come about in recent years called Pixar mom.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like, so I've seen that thrown about like someone with the body of a mother and has curves and bumps and soft parts and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'm all for that too.
I subscribe to Disney After Dark on Facebook.
That's a great idea. So I love the sound that you guys have come up with. It's very unique, but I don't know like how to describe it. How do you guys describe your music to other people?
We don't know how to. That's why Keymaster came up with that demented B music idea, which it doesn't describe the music, but like I don't know how to describe our music. I have no idea. I asked like other people, and no one said anything.
I mean, there's definitely a metal vibe to it, but it doesn't sound like metal.
Yeah,
and
that's our problem. Really, is we don't have a category, so it's like we can't really. It's hard to sell ourselves because we can't sell ourselves. Like we're not punk enough for punk people, not metal enough for metal people. We're not goth enough for goth people.
Yeah,
but we got like elements of like all these other different. It's like we're trying to be Beatles, but we're not good enough. And like nobody wants to hear that. If they want to hear the Beatles, they want to hear the Beatles.
Right. So we got to come up with a like an elevator pitch for you guys.
Yeah, I know. I got nothing.
Yeah, it's like
that's why I like that Weird Al meets Rob Zombie. I was like, well, that's fun, and that like kind of like gives you an idea.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a Rob Zombie influence in here. So
They also said some like 1950s Rob Zombie.
1950s.
So, like
Rob
the lyrics
Zombie.
are definitely like not very 1950s.
There's also some electronica in there.
Yeah, exactly. See, so it's just weird.
So like
synth
metal, Rob Zombie.
Synth Rob Zombie.
A funny synth Rob Zombie. I don't know.
Yeah, see.
It's like so. It's like if you take Rob Zombie and you grind him up and you put him in a blender, and then you reassemble him and put it to music, that's what Dead by 28 sounds like. I guess
I like that.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I like that a lot. No, not really.
That particular song reminded me a little bit of the Bloodhound Gang when they would get into their heavier modes.
I love the Bloodhound
yeah. Okay.
Well, it makes sense. I love freaking Bloodhound Gang.
There you go. Yeah, well, that's it's amazing how these bands influence you subconsciously and you don't even know it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's where all my music is an homage to like all the different bands I've listened to over the years and gotten inspiration from. That's how I feel.
So how do you guys divide up the music? Like who does what in Dead by 28?
Keymaster usually writes most of the music. Like because he's got a keyboard and like all the drum machine, Madoo, sequencer, that thing. He's got all that, so he can just make songs and very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm picky when I write music, so I've just let him do it. That way I can just focus on lyrics.
So you write the lyrics and he does the music.
Yeah, Sissy has written some songs. Shotgun, I don't know. Shotgun's written some songs over the years, but not a whole lot. I haven't written any songs in quite a while.
Do the other band members play music or play instruments in the band, or what?
Yeah, Sissy does guitar. Shotgun does guitar and bass.
Okay.
Depending on like when we did live shows, he usually did bass.
Okay, cool. Nice. So are you guys? I think we talked about this in the past, but do you guys have any plans of not performing live again?
No, it's too hard because everybody lives in different places.
Yeah.
We all we send our music over the internet.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on trying to get famous on the internet right now.
Good luck with that. Been trying for a while.
Well, that's why I'm going the Playgirl route.
Honestly, you'll probably have more success with that than music.
Exactly. That's the problem. I realized I was I'm not going to make it on music alone. I'm going to have to sell this body.
Yeah. See, I realized some time ago I'm putting too much effort into my art, and I need to just put out something stupid and terrible and put it up on YouTube and just shit out one of these things every couple of days, and I'll make a fortune.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work because people can smell the fakeness.
Yeah, but then
it only works if you're.
There were videos on YouTube that were algorithmically generated. Nobody filmed them; they were just created by a computer, and they got millions of views.
Yeah, but I don't know. I say stick to the art. I'm all about the art.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to stick to the art, but as a side project, I'm just going to shit out something easy.
Well, I can't really talk. Our last album was kind of me trying to sell out. I was our first album where I think I said one swear word. I don't know, it was the least amount of swear words I've ever said on an album.
Didn't help, right?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, so I'm just back to the swearing.
Fuck it.
All the swear.
Go ahead, Luke.
Pardon?
I was gonna say, remember back in the mid 2000s when people were, gathering us up in groups, going hey, we should give away all our music for free, and then we'll all become rich and famous. Yay! Let's do that. That'll work. That won't create a whole society of people who feel entitled to get art for free and never having to pay for it, ever.
It worked for a lot of people, just not for us.
Yeah, just not us.
It worked for one guy, and then when everyone started doing that, it maybe worked for a second guy.
See, the problem is he has far more talent than the rest of us put together. That's the problem. No, actually, I do have an idea as to why it worked so much better for Colton than it worked for the FuMP, is because he's one guy and we are a group with very different styles of music. So, a fan of Tom Smith may not necessarily be a fan of Devo Spice, even if they both like comedy. So that's and that with 170 some odd artists on the FuMP, it's a very scattered audience.
See, the thing that's annoying me at the moment, like, remember that, you saw that TikTok I made with the footage from the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Where I'm basically, the premise of it being, somebody said to me, I mentioned I was into comedy music, and they're like, "Oh, comedy music, isn't that just Weird Al?" And then I have the shot of the flood coming in, and then I have like Tenacious D, Worm Quartet, and I listed off like I was kind of mostly making it up as I went along, going back and forth between well-known, national, international known comedy musicians, and folks that I know from the FuMP who have been doing it for years and are still making new comedy music for years, and so I put all those things up and I posted that around to places, and I think it was the close personal friends of Weird Al group, and people generally liked it. But then a couple people, like, I didn't specifically mention Jonathan Colton as one of the people, and some people commented like oh, I was incredulous at the omission of Jonathan Colton. So it's like, first of all, I have Paul and Storm in there, and compared to Jonathan Colton, Paul and Storm are a comedy duo, a comedy music making band or whatever. So, and this is, this is more like, this isn't me complaining about Jonathan Colton as if he did anything. This is a complaint about other people's perception of Jonathan Colton. He has not made a funny song in 10 years, at least 10 years. Like, Artificial Heart had like his 2 songs from Portal and like a song I think called The Stash, and after that, I know I've listened to the albums he's put out since then, and none of them have comedy songs on it. And if you go read the description for the Artificial Heart album, it basically comes out and says, these, unlike his previous albums, this one shies away from, comedic material and, concentrates more on, blah, 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 because that's the direction Jonathan Colton wanted to take his career.
Yeah, he actually doesn't like to be associated with comedy anymore. Like,
yeah, exactly. So he hasn't. It's like kind of a "what have you done for me lately" thing. All these people, it's like, oh, you didn't mention Jonathan Colton. Jonathan Colton has not made comedy music in 10 years. He's not a comedy musician anymore. I mean, you could say the same thing about Adam Sandler. It's like Dr. Demento is not playing audio clips from the movie Uncut Gems because it's not a comedy song by Adam Sandler. He's doing other things now. So the fact that I didn't list him in that video, so it's like I didn't list fucking Elmo and Patsy. They made Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. It's like, I couldn't list everybody, and I thought about including Jonathan Colton. I'm like, no, I want to have artists that have immediately contributed to making comedy music, in at least the past 10 years or so. And yeah, so I don't know. So basically, I'm annoyed with everyone else, continuing to give Jonathan Colton this huge comedy music cred when he hasn't done anything comedy music related, either on his own or to really promote the genre, because like you said, he's trying to distance himself from it in at least 10 years. So, it's like, if you're gonna have that kind of hype for somebody, give it to Paul and Storm, because, at least they're the actual comedy music duo or whatever. So anyway, that's my little diatribe about the internet and people in comedy music.
We struck a nerve.
Well, it's more like this has been a nerve that has been struck with me for a long time. I just didn't have a way to express it until I made this video, and then somebody was like, I was incredulous at the omission of Jonathan Colton. It's like,
see,
anyway.
Luke, I loved the video, but I would have chosen the scene from The Shining with the elevator and the blood. That's just me. But anyway.
Well, the scene with the blood is a lot shorter. It's like that scene from Oh Brother goes on for like a good 45 seconds at least, which gave me a lot of time to list a lot of names.
You could have used the elevator scene from The Cabin in the Woods and just have all the monsters coming out.
Oh, that would have been great, because then I could have tried to label individual each monster
Yes,
or creature
like-
with a band.
As they're doing a kill, like here's Devo Spice, here's Luke Ski.
Oh my
Anyway.
god, that would be epic.
So Dizman, what else is going on with you?
I don't know, just, same old. Making a lot of TikToks, like trying to do those trendy things that I really didn't like at first because it's just like where originality goes to die is TikTok. But I don't know. Like I want to sell out. I don't care anymore.
Are you getting anywhere on TikTok? Are you getting any traction with your videos?
I've only really started. I'm just trying to stay consistent because every time I've tried to do anything on YouTube or anything before, I gave up really easily. I'm like, oh, people don't like it, I just give up. So this time I'm just trying to stay consistent and try to build videos that I'm think are worthy of people coming to my site and seeing. So, and then maybe eventually people will come around. What I'm going for.
Yeah, cool. What's your TikTok handle?
Real Dizman with the E is a 3 and the I in Dizman is a 1. Real Dizman.
So making it really easy for people to find you. That's smart. So,
well, TikTok had this thing where it said they could use your name if you got famous or something or whatever, and I didn't like it. So I tried to fuck the system with my name.
works for me. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Just, I guess, my TikTok. That's all. And, the Dead by 28 stuff on Bandcamp or Spotify or, maybe not so much Spotify, but, all the normal places, YouTube, not Facebook, because that just seems pointless. We got, all these followers on Facebook, and they still don't fucking see our shit unless we pay money.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Screw that. Go to our YouTube. We need more fucking YouTube subscribers.
Yep, I am all for that. You YouTube Dead by 28, right? Or is it?
Yep.
Cool.
Dead by 28.
Cool. All righty. Let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Alvarant wrote, so what was the playlist theme? Yeah, apparently last week when I did teasing, I forgot to tease the playlist theme. The playlist theme was 4th of July. So I had a couple of songs that Alvarant sent in and a couple other ones that I found and made a 4th of July theme. And that's all the feedback we got for this week. So speaking of teasing...
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. Tomorrow's song is by a new artist. And Tuesday's song is by Steve Goodie.
Goodie!
And speaking of Spotify playlist topic, I don't have one for this week. So what should I make the topic for this week?
Thor, Love and Thunder?
Thor. All right, we need songs about Thor. I know Carrie has one. Thor's Big Silver Hammer. What else is there?
Stony Peak by Tom Smith.
Stony Peak, good one. What about Mallet of Metal? Would that count?
I think we could include that
right.
as being Thor-related enough.
It's Thor adjacent.
Ian has his Meet the Avengers album.
Right.
But I think his Thor song on that is his cover of Thor's of Carrie's song. So, how about Hey Marvel by
Oh, yes.
By Michael William Hunter.
Yes. Hey, Marvel. Wildcard says Tom Smith has a Thor song, Get Loki.
Oh, I think that might be a parody of Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Okay.
So
if it's on Spotify, I will include it. And 2, 3, 4. That's only 5. We need a few more. I can transition into other Marvel properties from here.
I mean, you can. Well, if Ian doesn't have another Thor song, you could use his song about, the show Loki called Kang. That's Thor adjacent.
Yes. Wait a minute. Where's Zoom? There we go. I clicked on my Spotify window and lost the Zoom window. So, all right, let's see what's on Insane Ian. He has discography.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have. I didn't mention Thor in. At least I don't think I mentioned Thor in Marvel Poppins. I put an image of him in the music video, but
yeah, he is. He did cover Thor's Big Silver Hammer.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to search the FuMP for Thor and see if anything comes up that we forgot. Thor, Mott Thorne and the Infractions, the artist. I don't think that counts, but let's see. Birdfucker came up for some reason. I think it's because it's a partial word search, so there must be a word, like thorn or something like that. Yeah. Hey, Marvel. Hulkalele. Do they mention Thor?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'll check.
I like that song, but
I do enjoy that song.
One of my favorite nuclear bubble wrap songs.
Yeah, I got a lot here. Nightmare, Pac-Man. Just my Thor search came up with. Oh, Carla Ulbrich has a song called Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that one. That's why I searched the FuMP, because it actually it actually works. Stony Peak, is that? Yeah, we already mentioned that.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the Tom Smith one. One of my favorite Tom Smith songs on the FuMP.
All right, yeah, that's all for that search. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8. That should be good. If not, I'll throw in. I'll transition to some other Thor-related stuff. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, Phil, plug yourself one more time.
PhilJohnsonComedy.com is the place to see all the stuff: tour dates, free gifts, merch, videos, music, stand-up. Lots of my hair, probably.
Do you include a strand of your hair with the merch?
Only by accident. It's usually under the tape on the package.
All right, Dizman, plug yourself one more time.
For Dead by 28, anywhere that you go online, look for Real Dizman on Instagram and TikTok.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And there's other people.
We're other people. I'm Phil.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons Share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say...